Hey guys, so I have a posing video for you here that I recorded during one of our group posing sessions. You can see a few different styles of posing here. We'll go over your individual posing routine as well as the mandatories, how you stand when you're waiting off on the side of the stage to get called out. And we'll also go over the night show. Depends on where your show is run, but most of them run fairly similarly, so this should help clarify things a little bit. And it helps, kind of goes along with the posing guides that I have available on Amazon. So if you have some of those, this might make things a little more clear to see things in motion. All right, so let's get started. Here we go. So I'm just going to go over the main poses really quickly in case you're a beginner and just starting out. So this is the front pose. In the front pose, you want to make sure to keep your body weight sort of evenly divided 50-50 on either leg. And then you're going to rotate your pelvis, so your pelvis is kind of at a 45-degree angle, and then you twist so your upper body is still facing forward. I keep the hand that's closest to the back of the stage on my hip and the other one down and relaxed. Now the next pose is a side transitional pose, so it's kind of as you're moving towards the back. I call these the transitions. You're still going to stop here in this pose. It's kind of like looking over your shoulder. It's a nice picture. So you kind of want your butt at a 45-degree angle. The knee that is closest to the curtain, I keep bent. You're kind of sticking your butt out. It's like butt in the face, but it doesn't quite look like that. As long as you keep your upper back up and you look over, smile, it's a nice shot. Now the next one, this is the back pose. This is kind of where we were headed from the transitional pose. You can do legs apart or legs together. It depends on what looks better on your body. Now most people look better with their legs wider, so if you're super lean, you can show off better hamstring separation if you do the leg together look, but that kind of is all dependent on how you're looking coming up to show day. It's really important to keep your pelvis tilted, lifting your butt up, which tightens your glutes. This is sort of like if you were going to bend over, it would tighten everything up. However, you do not want to be bent over. You will get marked down if your upper body is lost when you are doing your back pose. So you need to keep your lower back very arched, your upper back up, because the judges are also sitting down below you. So if they look up and they're only going to see a butt in their face if you bend over. So you have to make sure that your upper back is still lifted. So it's a pelvic tilt, lifting your butt up, not bending over. Now, as we come back to the front, we'll look at a few different posing options. This is a modified front pose. So legs are apart. You're kind of putting a little more weight on that one front hip that's facing the stage. Hands are relaxed. You can have your hand on your hip or at your sides. Another option here is just like I call it a side pretty pose where legs are more together, you're coming back to the side, upper body is slightly twisted towards the stage, or an S pose where you can see the curve in your body. And lastly, as you come back to the front after your side pretty pose, you're going to do your wave and your walk before you head off to wait on the side for call outs. So as you can see here, I'm still in the S pose. You can lift your arm in the back or in the front, but it's really important to make sure you are fully committed to the wave. If you do a half-ass wave, it's going to look like you're not confident. Now that we've gone over the basics, let's see it in motion. Okay, Beth is starting here. She's coming out on the left-hand side because she's going to be competing on the East Coast, and I believe most of the East Coast shows, as well as the national shows, which are mostly on the East Coast, start you on that side. So it's a good idea to practice walking in from both sides of the stage. Now, my one critique with her here was that I thought she was traveling off of the X, so we were going to redo that pose a second time and make sure that she's staying in the center and not traveling to the left. Also, I think she's bending over a little too much in the back pose, so we're going to try this again. All right, so notice Beth's walk is very graceful, very nice. She's hitting her front pose. Now you can choose either side. She does a little kick for like her sassiness, which I don't do in my posing, but it's up to you. She comes together on her back pose because her glutes look nice in that position, so that's also up to you. You don't have to do that. Turning back around to the front gracefully, doing a modified front pose, her wave, and then walk. So Leela's starting from the right-hand side for prejudging for the morning show. Front pose, come together, transition pose, to the back, back to the front. So it's just the same really 4 poses. That's the modified front pose, wave, and walk. Okay, the next set of poses are the comparison poses or the mandatory poses. This is when they line you up and you compare between the other girls. After you do your model turns, you're going to wait on the side of the stage and they're going to do call outs for you to compare. So you will come out as a group and you all hit your front pose. So you're getting in the front pose here. You're going to do the same 4 poses. You're just going to do them at a different cadence. So if you're on this side, this is for everybody, if you're on this side, because you can't be, like, the judges are down here, right? The judges are sitting here, and basically from right here, you look square on to me. Right. So if you happen to be on that side, you may want to switch your pose or rotate a little bit. Just think, okay, the judges aren't seeing me, so you need to maybe put that foot back a little bit and stagger yourself.
Like some sort of, not straight,
a little sideways. If you're on this side,
just sort of like,
yeah, which is better. Yeah, so you can see it even in the video. Your face looks smaller when you just rotate your hips a little, and then you're still facing front. Move your upper body forward a little. Actually, okay, Leela and Jamie switch, so you get to practice on the other side. Step forward, walking around the line, front pose. Rotating, stick your butt back. There. That's a lot better.
okay, so butt back, so not hip out.
You're basically like, yeah, it's arching your back all the time.
Just the entire time, just as my,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so butt back. So see, like you can see,
yeah,
her back is curved. So that's why your low back is gonna hurt so bad because you have it contracted for the entire show.
Yeah.